The danger of gender expectation. This happens in Africa, Europe, America, Asia. The cultural details changes, but the pressure is surprisingly similar.
A teenage girl once told me something that stayed with me for a while. She said in a low tone, "Ma, I feel like I'm becoming a bad girl." The surprising part is she has done nothing wrong. She had not broken any rule. She had simply developed feeling for someone in her class. But the way people spoke around her made her feel she had already committed an offense. Now, here is the interesting part. That same week, I spoke with a teenage boy. His problem was completely different. He wasn't feeling shame, he was feeling pressure. Pressure from his friends to prove that he was a man. He was man enough. Two teenagers, two complete different emotional struggles. But both of them were reacting to something that society teaches boys and girls without even realizing it. I will tell you exactly what happened with both of them. But first, we need to understand something important about the expectation we place on young people. Before I continue, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I make a post. Also, do well to leave a comment and share the video with everybody who needs to hear it. Moving forward with the topic. Every culture has unspoken rules. Rules nobody writes down, but everyone understands. Many of these rules are about gender. For girls, the silent message often sounds like this. Be modest, protect your reputation, don't attract too much attention. A good girl must be careful. For boys, on the other hand, the message is very different. Be bold, be confident, don't show weakness, be a real man. A real man must prove himself. These expectations begin earlier than many people realize. A small boy cries and someone says, "Stop crying, you are a man, be a man." A young girl laughs out loud and someone says, especially one auntie, "Calm down, that's not how girls behave." These statements may sound small, but over time they begin to shape identity. Children slowly learn which expectations are acceptable and which one they must hide. Let me ask you a simple question. If a teenage boy tells his friend that he likes a girl in his class, what do people usually say? Many people laugh and say, "This guy is confident." Sometimes they even praise him, saying things like, "Sharp guy. A parent once told me, my son likes women, he likes women." Now imagine a teenage girl saying the same thing. Suddenly, the reaction changes. People may start using words like, "She's careless, she's loose, she's not well trained, she's too forward, she's not serious." Same age, same emotion, completely different judgment. So the real question becomes, what exactly are we teaching young people about their worth? About a teenage girl who said she felt like she was becoming a bad person. Let me give you the full gist of what was really happening. She was 16, bright, focused, very respectful. Teachers often described her as a good girl. But during one session, she admitted honestly, but in a very frightened manner, that she liked a boy in her class. Nothing dramatic, just normal teenage feelings. Yet, she kept asking herself questions like, am I becoming irresponsible? What if people find out? Will they think I am not a good girl anymore? Oh yeah, wait. Notice what happened there. A complete normal emotional experience has turned into guilt. Not because the emotion itself was wrong, but because she had been taught a good girl must appear untouched by those feelings. So she starts suppressing them. And when emotions are suppressed, they don't disappear. They become confusion. And confusion slowly becomes shame. Now, let me take you to the teenage boy I mentioned earlier. His story revealed another hidden side of gender expectation. He told me something that shocked me. He said, "Miss Mary, the last time I cried was when I was 8 years old." And I asked him why. He simply answered, "Because everyone keeps telling me boys don't cry." So he stopped. Not because he stopped feeling pain, but because he learned that showing emotion made him look weak. You see this one, I still have adult male friends that say this. And even some adult female will tell you that they don't want an emotional man. Any man that cries is emotional. Back to the story. But that wasn't the only pressure he was facing. That's the young man. His friends were also expecting something else from him. And that expectation shaped the way he behaved around girls. When I asked him about his friends, he admitted openly. He said he sometimes acted confident with girls even when he wasn't. I asked him why. He replied me saying, if you don't act like that, your friends will laugh at you. Peer group among teenage boys often test masculinity. Friends ask questions like, have you kissed someone yet? Why are you so quiet around girls? If you're not chasing girls, what kind of guy are you? This question may sound playful, but they create pressure. So some boys start performing confidence, even when they feel uncertain, even when they are not ready. Masculinity becomes something they must prove. Now add modern life to this situation. Social media has amplified these expectations. Girls constantly see images suggesting they must be attractive, desirable, and admired. But at the same time, they are warned not to be judged. So the message becomes confusing. Be attractive, but don't attract criticism. Look confident, but don't be labeled. Boys receive a different message completely. They see images of men who appear dominant, wealthy, confident, and successful with women. For example, most music videos you will see online, the male musician is looking rich and is being surrounded by girls seeking his attention. The young boys start believing that masculinity must look like that. If they don't measure up, they feel inadequate. So both genders are chasing unrealistic expectations. Girls chase perfection, boys chase performance. Both carry emotional pressure. The message teenagers receive today quietly follow them into adulthood. The girl who learns to feel ashamed of her emotion may struggle later to express herself honestly in a relationship. The boy who learns to hide his vulnerability may grow into a man who cannot easily talk about pain. And when two adults like that meet in a relationship, communication becomes difficult. What began as cultural expectation in adolescence can become emotional disturbance in adulthood. Our sons and daughters are growing up in a complicated world. Girls should not feel ashamed of normal emotions. Boys should not feel pressured to constantly prove their masculinity. Healthy development allows both of them to express emotions with understanding and responsibility. When we guide young people with empathy rather than rigid expectation, we raise individuals who are confident, self-aware, and emotionally healthy. And that is far more powerful than simply raising good girls and strong boys, because the goal is not performance. The goal is raising healthy human beings.